3, 2, 1.
So much unnecessary suspense.
I know. Merry Christmas.
That was that. If I had a noisemaker, that's what it would have sounded like.
Just the indiscriminate gibberish.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, Greer.
Dude, the Christmas miracle happened.
A Christmas miracle?
A Christmas miracle happened. Because Legend of Korra ended, and I was really sad about that. All the shows I like ended this week.
Yeah, God, I'm so sorry. You lost Craigie, you lost Colbert, you lost Korra.
Yeah, those are all the shows I liked.
Yeah, it's a very alliterate, not alliterate, that's the wrong word, alliterative Korra, Colbert, Craigie. Yeah, Colbert. So, yeah, how are you feeling right now? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just glad you guys can't take Craigie back. Your fucking continent can't take him back. He's an American citizen.
No, but we can take Piers Morgan back.
Yeah. The guy replacing him, James Corden, like when that was announced, like all these English people were like, "Oh, he's a twat" or whatever.
Yeah,
and then I asked you, and you were like, "He's not so bad."
No, he's not. There's a lot of really unfair hate. Okay, basically, like...
I don't even know who he is.
He is seen as... He presents something called A League of Their Own, which is just like a panel quiz show, which we have a lot of in the UK. So, like, for those of you that don't know, like, the format of them, like, they'll get a few comedians on, and, like, you won't really win anything. It'll just be, like, for fun. So, like, there are music ones and news ones, and, like, it's not something you really do in the US, but James Corden presents a sports one called A League of Their Own, and did like a really awful sketch show a few years ago, and is just generally considered to be a bit of a loudmouth. But he won a Tony for One Man, Two Governors. He's a theatre actor. He's kind of tread the boards for years. That's how he got started. He wrote a really beloved sitcom called Gavin and Stacey, which he was great in. So I don't really get the level of hate and vitriol directed towards him. I think it's a little bit unfair. I think it's quite premature to say he'll be shit because you just don't know,
I mean, like, that was, like, Craig's show. Like, that was his show. Like, he's taken the robot skeleton and the fake horse with him. So I'm like, what's this guy gonna bring to the table? He's just gonna be another fucking Letterman wannabe or some shit. I don't know.
Well, no, he won't. But it's not his style. Oh, that's why they picked him, because he's a bit of a live wire.
I don't know. If
he's a live wire. He's a live wire in a very different way to the way Craig Ferguson. I don't think he's as good as Craig Ferguson. I don't think he's as
Craig didn't give a shit. He's like, I'm gonna curse all I want, and I don't give a shit. Because he said multiple times, he's like, I never wanted to be a late night host, which kind of hurts me because he's so good at it. And that kind of hurts me a little bit because he's like, I never wanted this job.
But what that means is that he was able to do something quite interesting with the format. Whereas I do think like there will be an element of James Corden trying to toe the line a little bit and not, step on anyone's toes. And I think like that is a little bit of a shame. I liked the fact that there was someone on American TV who was so kind of like he played by his own rules, Craig Ferguson. Mm. And I thought that was pretty cool. And also he's just lovely. Like he is just lovely, Craig Ferguson.
Yeah. He's a real, like, nerd, too. Like, the only real nerd other than him in late night is Conan. Like, Conan's a huge nerd.
Yeah. I really liked, was it Ricky Gervais was on Craig Ferguson, and he was like, do you like Doctor Who? And Ricky Gervais was just like, nope, that's a conversation stopper, like...
Do you like Doctor Who? Nah. Okay, then.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. There are more British people than you think that don't like Doctor Who. But anyway, I think my prediction for James Corden is either he will fail miserably in the manner of Piers Morgan, or maybe not quite as obnoxiously, but he'll either sink without a trace, or he'll be a bit nervous for a bit, and then he'll kind of find his feet and get a bit more brave. And
I do like British talk show hosts. Like I love like Graham Norton and Jonathan Ross. Like, I love
Oh,
them.
yeah,
And
he might be, Greer, sorry, he might be a bit more like that, actually.
yeah, like that's what I'm
Like,
hoping
they
for
might,
because
because,
I like British or I like European talk shows in general. You know.
well, there'll be that British, sort of cheekiness and, not giving a shit what you ask people, like, getting them to kind of lower their guard. Like, people like Jonathan Ross and Graham Norton are really, really good
Oh,
at that.
my phone's going off. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my
Um,
grandmother. A super loud ringtone. I'm sorry about that.
no, it was very, I liked it. For those of you that didn't hear it, are we recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't hear it, Greer had
That's my favorite. That's a terrible rendition, but no, I love that's
it's a beautiful rendition. It's
that's my
gorgeous. What are you talking
favorite.
about?
That's my favorite Christmas song.
It's a lovely
I love
song.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra is fucking amazing.
My like one of my favorite Christmas traditions is like some of the really, really good South Park Christmas specials. Like, as weird as it sounds, they're always really, really Christmassy.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, quite sort of sincerely Christmassy. Like, they leave you with kind of a warm glow. Like, and I watched one last night with my dad and my sister that I hadn't seen in a while, called Merry Christmas, Charlie Manson. It's a really, really early episode. They go and visit Cartman's family, and they're all exactly like Cartman. And one of them is a convict, and he escapes from prison with his friend Charlie Manson, who, through Christmas specials, learns the spirit of Christmas and ends up being quite a positive character. And it's very, very funny and actually quite sweet. And the episode, Mr. Hankey's Christmas Classics, which is just all like South Park versions of Christmas songs and some original songs, I watch every year. That's one of the ones that I watch every year, and it's really beautiful because they
That's
made
not
it
a
right
word
up.
I hear to use to describe South Park a lot. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's profoundly moving. It left me with a warm glow right in my pants. But it's the episode they made right after Mary Kay Bergman, who did all the female voices, killed herself, and there's a really beautiful tribute to her at the end. And that's very worth watching. I don't know how I got onto that subject. I think it might have been because
I mentioned Christmas song. You were like, oh, Christmas,
yes.
Here's what I like.
Yeah.
Not even done talking about the shows that ended. But,
oh, Christ, you wanted to talk about Korra,
yeah,
I believe.
Because, okay. I cried really hard. And not because it ended, but because it ended in a way that a year ago, I would not have predicted at all. Like, if you had told me a year ago, this is how it's gonna end, I would be like, you're a liar. Like, you're a liar. And, if you guys don't know, and I know you haven't seen any of the Airbender shows, so this is just me going off on what I think.
No, go for it.
If you don't know how it ends, or if you haven't heard the huge outburst about it, or it hasn't been an outburst, it's been a positive response, thankfully. Korra ends up, and it was confirmed by the creators that she ends up in a romantic relationship with another girl.
Oh, wow, that's
and
really
that's a
cool.
Nickelodeon show. That's a Nickelodeon-owned show. And that's how it ended. She ends up with her girlfriend, Asami, who is my favorite character. They end up together in the end.
Wow, that is... We should put a interlude about a spoiler somehow.
Yeah.
But like
Well, I mean, it's been really hard. I mean, if you care anything at all about Korra, it's been really hard to miss. So, because everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's done articles about it, you know.
When you say, like, is it the whole kind of Dumbledore's gay thing? Like, she confirms it afterwards, but there wasn't much of it in the show.
Oh, no, it ends with them holding hands and looking at each other.
Oh, wow. Oh, how beautiful. Christ, that's amazing.
And that was a pairing that I'm like, man, I love this friendship, and then I'm like, oh man, I wish they'd make out. Like, that was a year ago for me. I'm like, I've been looking with like the homosexual lens since like season 2. I'm like,
Can I just say, like, take note, every other fucking queer baiting show on the planet, fucking take note. Like, you can tease these characters like all you want and not give the fans any payoff, but now we know that your excuses about like it not being like okay and not being able to get away with it are bullshit, because they just did it on a Nickelodeon show. Okay,
I mean, to be fair,
so
it wasn't airing on, well, I don't know if it aired on Nicktoons or not, but they've been airing it. They aired the last season strictly digitally, strictly through the Nick.com website, because they got canceled pretty much off of Nickelodeon.
Why?
Just cause I don't know. I don't fucking know. There was a budget or something. I don't know. I think it was a budget problem. But but they finished up the show anyway. But they just put it on the internet. So, I mean, that's where I usually watched it anyway. So it didn't make a difference to me.
It. I mean, it's like what they've done with Community. Like, I mean, Community now has found its natural... Like, the reason Community's ratings were so poor was because everyone was watching it on the internet. So it's found its natural home. And I think more and more that is going to be the case. Like look at Netflix, look at Hulu, like original Hulu shows, original Netflix shows. Netflix. They're all really good, is what I'm saying.
So,
that took a long time.
The thing about, especially seasons 1 and 2, were that they tried to shoehorn in a romance between Korra and this guy, this other main character, Mako, who is just a shithead.
Oh, yeah?
You ask any Airbender / Korra fan, and 99% of them will tell you, oh, Mako, he's a fucking dick.
Is that why when Doug and Rob first started watching it, for those of you that don't know, which I imagine is like no one if it's people that listen to us, Doug and Rob did like a Korra vlog after they did the Airbender vlogs. And they really hated Korra, didn't they, when it first started?
It starts out very rocky, especially since you're coming from a show like Airbender, and then you go into Korra, and there was so much hype, and there was a little bit of there were parts of it that were disappointing. I think I talked about this on a previous podcast about how what they tried to do was they tried to shoehorn in the romance in season 1. And that's not what Airbender did. It took at least 3 or 4 seasons before, well, it took at least till the 3rd season before there was any sort of romance with the main characters at all.
But to be fair to Korra, like, what I do really like is that, yes, that was a misstep, and it sounds like that's the...
I mean, they really tried. With seasons 1 and 2, they had Korra and this guy Mako on and off, and it sucked. And then Mako... Here's the thing, though. That's where Asami came in, was like, oh, Mako's like, oh, I'm gonna date this girl and make Korra jealous, and then Asami ends up being a very important character, and she immediately was my favorite because she was beautiful and smart and an engineer. She's like the fucking MacGyver of like and she's an inventor, and she's awesome, and she can't even bend elements or anything, but she's still fucking amazing, and that's why I really liked her at first, and then I continued to like her. And then her and Korra became friends over the fact that they both dated this guy Mako, and just they're like, he's such a dick.
But it sounds like the creators, they listened to the fans. They wrote.
At first I was kind of pissed off because they were like, oh, well, they wanted romance and now no one wants romance. And I'm like, no one wanted romance. That's not even what Airbender was about.
And it's like, okay, maybe they did, or maybe some did, I don't know. But like, people want good romance. You know, they want it to be earned. They don't want it to be shoehorned in. And can I just say, like, again, fucking take note every other show for adults on television. Like, Korra listened to its fans. You know, they gave them strong female characters. I feel like based on what you've told me, Korra is doing everything that Supernatural isn't doing, that Supernatural doesn't seem to want to do. Like, it gives Supernatural will continually throw up these awful female characters, queer bait without having any kind of payoff. I mean, essentially, it just has its cake and eats it too. I mean, it is the most. I know you hate this word, but it is the most fucking problematic show on television. And then, like, fucking Korra, like, Korra is doing everything that Supernatural should be doing. It fucking makes me sick that you're part of that fandom and I'm not. I'm stuck with goddamn Supernatural.
Fucking watch Airbender and then watch Korra and try to get through the first 2 seasons. Well, I mean, they're not that bad. They're not that bad. Honestly, I didn't like most of season 2. Book 2 of Korra is the worst out of the 4, honestly. Season 4 was fucking awesome. There was not really anything wrong with that book 4, really.
And that was the final season, was it? That was the season
that's it. There's not going to be any more. From what the creators have talked about, there's not really going to be, at least for a while, not going to be anything else, any other show set in the Airbender universe, which kind of sucks.
But not for a while isn't the same as never.
Yeah, not
know?
For a while. I mean, they're still making. Avatar: The Last Airbender has been the TV show has been over for years, but they're still making the comics that are continually explaining the story.
That's the thing. There are so many ways now to kind of capitalize on a fandom, and not only that, but that makes it sound really cynical. Which maybe there's an element of it, but it is primarily, you know, people are really passionate about these stories, and there are so many mediums in which you can tell them. It's like fucking Gargoyles has a comic now, like you know, Buffy has has like seasons 8, 9, 10, like. I mean, it just, you know, I feel like these things are never over. Like, you know, if something ends on TV, if it gets cancelled, then there's the internet. I mean, it's just, you know, like, it's a very exciting time, I think, to be a fanboy or to be a fangirl, like, because these worlds are just becoming, like, more and more immersive. I mean, what would be your, like, best case scenario for Korra, or not for Korra, but for the Airbender universe? Like, if there was a story that they would tell next, what would you want it to be?
So, like, so much in the Korra setting, I just feel like there was a lot of stuff that wasn't tied up in the end. And I'm like, well, wait, what about this and this? And I want more of that. Well, wait, what about this? And so, like, even after watching it and finishing the finale and crying, like, I cried tears of joy when that ended, because that last, like, 2 minutes just made my entire fucking life. Like, nothing will ever be better than those last 2 minutes.
I know, it is, like, occasionally you do get those, like, punch the air moments. Like, I had it recently, I can't fucking remember what it was. Oh, you know what was really nice? The Christmas Story 2 review, the Nostalgia Critic.
Oh, yeah, that was nice.
How fucking lovely was that? And what a great message. Like, yeah, people aren't perfect, but, like, you know, be a nice person and give them a chance. You know, just, like, be kind to people, give them the benefit of the doubt, give them second chances. Like, that's such a lovely message. And it's not a message that you hear very much either. Like, yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely. It made me very, very happy. Yeah. And also, I do think, like, Tamara as that character, it's such a sweet performance, and she's so endearing. She kind of toes that line. Like, she's not creepy. Do you know what I mean? No, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I did cry.
I was pretty close. But no.
I cried. Not like full-on sobbing, but I did cry.
No, when that... God, I wish I'd had the mind. Whenever I cry at, like, a movie or a TV show finale, I cry at TV show finales all the fucking time, by the way. Doesn't matter what it is. I wish I'd had the right mind to film myself, because I would be like a millionaire. fucking,
I mean, it's like
fucking, that happened, and I just, just went from, oh my god, to just sobbing right there. Just like, you know that dry kind of sobbing where no tears are coming out, but you're still
like,
crying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
bro.
I was I was breathing really shallow, and then I just bawled for like 15 minutes.
I mean, you could make a mint doing that, because look at all the people that film themselves doing Red Wedding, watching Red Wedding.
Oh yeah, no, that's fucking. I wish I had done that to myself too, honestly, but I had no idea that was coming. I knew I was gonna do something at the end of the core finale. Didn't know what. Wasn't expecting that. So.
Oh, you know what?
It was just the shock of them doing something I was not expecting them to do. Because I loved those two. I love those two so much, and I was already like, man, they should end up together in the end. But that's not gonna happen, and then it did happen.
Well, that's
do you know that feeling, like when it happens, when you're like, that's not gonna happen, and then it happens.
It's because we're so used to. And actually, you know, to be fair, it isn't just like with gay relationships, but like. You know, I think in general in TV shows we're used to, like, you know, that kind of thing of, oh, you know, we're not going to have fan service, we're not going to have wish fulfillment. Like, they're popular enough that they're just going to do what they want.
People are accusing it of being fan service, and there's so much wrong with that statement. Especially, really I'm like, did you watch the same show that I did? I mean, they had a relationship as friends, and now they're like, oh, okay, I think we feel more for each other.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I really hate that. I really, you know, yes, it would be different if
it was not for fan service. I mean, it's a believable relationship because they had a relationship. They had one. They had a connection. Yeah. It's believable. If it was fan service, like, it wouldn't be believable.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I do recognize that, like, you know, the whole Agent Coulson being gay thing, like, that would have been fan service. And I was, like, essentially, like, or I was partly joking when I said that I wish that would happen. Whereas, like, when you not even just tease or queerbait, but when you actually, when you tell a story about two people really connecting, you know, the idea that they fall in love, like, that's, you know, how is that not believable? Like, just because it's a gay relationship, why does that make it any less believable? I mean, that sounds to me like people that just didn't want there to be a gay relationship in Korra, like basically homophobia.
What?
I just mean, like, if people are saying it's fan service.
Yeah, because shippers, it's especially like shippers can get so fucking hardcore, and it's like, I don't know. I think people that are trying to say that in Korra it is just fan service, I think that is tantamount to homophobia, because, you know, they're putting their fingers in their ears, la 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 la, and ignoring what is actually on the screen. Or they're just really hardcore shippers that are just like, no, I wanted this to happen. I wanted Korra to end up with Mako because I'm an idiot, because I have an IQ lower than 20.
It doesn't sound like anyone wanted her to end up with Mako.
No, there are shippers for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, color me surprised.
I'm putting that out there right now. If anyone out there still ships Mako and Korra, it's fucking, I don't even know how you made it past the second grade. Sorry.
I love
You're an idiot. Sorry.
You know what? I think we can get away with it. We have an audience of about 10. I think we can get away with it. We don't have to be like the nostalgia critic and feel diplomatic.
I pulled up the statement that one of the creators made, Michael Dante DiMartino, and in one of his paragraphs he says, and I mean, both the creators released statements saying, yes, it's romantic.
Oh.
He said, Michael Dante DiMartino said, our intention with the last scene was to make it as clear as possible that yes, Korra and Asami have romantic feelings for each other. The moment where they enter the spirit portal symbolizes their evolution from being friends to being a couple.
Oh, that is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. I really want to watch Airbender now. I'm like color me invested.
All right, and then Brian Coney. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Brian, the other creator. He says Korosami is canon. You can celebrate it, embrace it, accept it, get over it, or whatever you feel the need to do, but there's no denying it. That is the official story. You received some wonderful press in the wake of the season finale at the end of last week, and just about every piece I read got it right. Korra and Asami fell in love. Were they friends? Yes, and they still are, but they also grew to have romantic feelings for each other.
Oh, how lovely. Yeah, and like fucking good for them. I mean,
go and read they both have Tumblr blogs, so go and read those for yourself if you want to. Brian's is significantly longer than Michael's, but yeah, you can go read that for yourself.
can I talk about Derek?
Yes.
Okay, so
I actually wanted to mention the Colbert Report real quick, so I was talking about shows that I like being canceled. Or just ending, not canceled. Colbert didn't get canceled, but no, Colbert had to end because if you didn't know, Letterman is retiring, and Colbert's taking over for him, which I'm really excited about.
I knew Letterman was retiring. I didn't know Colbert was taking over.
Colbert is taking over, which I'm excited about because I love Colbert's character on the Colbert Report, but I love Colbert, like Stephen Colbert as a person. Like I only know him really as that character, so I'm very interested to see like what he brings to the table just as himself. Mm-hmm. I mean, presumably he's like liberal, a left wing, like all that stuff. Oh yeah.
In life, yeah. Oh well, no, that'll be interesting. Wow, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow, no, I'm definitely intrigued
because if you didn't know, he's just a huge sweetheart in real life. Like if you see him like making speeches at the Emmys or whatever, like he's just a huge sweetheart. Like, and I think
the relationship between Jon Stewart and John Oliver is really adorable. Like when John Oliver left the Daily Show, like they were like in tears and like they had like a big cuddle and like I can
Jon
imagine
Stewart and Colbert are really like they had a moment on his last show and it was really good. It was really good. His last show was really good. It was really funny. Stephen Colbert rode off into the night sky with Santa Claus, Abraham Lincoln, and Alex Trebek.
That's fucking
on Santa's sleigh. It was awesome.
Wow. So Colbert at least isn't gone for good.
No, he's coming back, and I can't wait to see how he does as like an actual, like a talk show host as himself and not as his character. Like he did interviews on the Colbert Report every night, but he would do it as that character, and I can't wait to see him do it as himself, especially since I love him as a person.
Will Ricky Gervais be on Letterman's last show? Because he's appeared on that show like 23, 24 times. Like, if Ricky Gervais is not on Letterman's last show, I'm gonna be pissed. So let's think about it. So Korra ended really beautifully, like lovely, joyful, unexpected ending. Colbert isn't gone for good. What about Craigie?
He is doing a game show right now, I think. I don't even know what channel it's on because I've never caught it. It's a reboot of a game show called Celebrity Name Game. I don't even know what channel it's on. But he's hosting it, and he's really funny. I've only seen an episode or two, but
I don't know what I think about that. A game show, really? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, I think it's also on CBS. I don't know because I've never caught it.
It's weird. Wondering how himself would be on a game show.
He's pretty funny actually.
Yeah.
It's actually done through Courtney Cox's and David Arquette's production company, which I didn't know. Okay. That's actually pretty cool. I looked up the Wikipedia article to see what channel it was on, and I didn't know what channel it was on.
Talking of celebrity power couples, Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter have split up.
Yeah, it sucks.
It does suck.
People give them shit, but I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck that. I mean, like, Tim Burton's not although, you know what? Like, Tim Burton isn't perfect, and I haven't loved his last few
Helena
efforts.
Bonham Carter is pretty fucking flawless, though.
She's fucking awesome. And also, Tim Burton's just made Big Eyes, which is meant to be brilliant.
I mean, supposedly... I mean, they've said that they're still friends anyway, and they're still going to co-parent and do all that stuff, so it was probably a career split. Like, they
probably
did it for their careers or something, but... I mean, there were even rumors going around that they were going to split back in, like, 2010, so...
What about, do you think they consciously uncoupled?
Do
you think they consciously uncoupled?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Is that the term you use?
They've told people that... I mean, they're still gonna co-parent their kids, and you know.
Greer, I was making a joke about like douchey Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, really?
That like super went over your. Do you not know when she broke up with Chris Martin, she used the term consciously uncoupled, and it got like that term became really, really famous for about a week.
Really?
For being,
I didn't know.
Like, utter fucking gibberish.
I don't keep up with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Like, no, when she broke up with Chris Martin, she said it was something like, the statement was something like, you know, Chris and I have decided to consciously uncouple. And yeah, for about a week, people were taking the piss out of that phrase because it's utterly meaningless. It's just the kind of bullshit, pretentious dribble that Gwyneth Paltrow is so liable to come out with. On like her Goop website or whatever. She can fuck off. I hate her.
You want to change the subject? Do you want to talk about the interview?
The interview? Yeah, okay, alright. Is this because
we're our annual James Franco news?
Oh yeah. Yeah, well last year it was that him and Seth Rogen were going to make this movie about The Room, which I'm very excited about. Because James Franco as Tommy Wiseau, I'm sorry, that is flawless casting. James Franco as a creepy weirdo, like only Shia LaBeouf could do a better job. Like, yeah, okay, so The Interview, this movie about the two journalists who are being hired to kill Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il? I don't know.
Il is dead. Is the son that's still alive.
Alright, well, it got cancelled. And obviously, you know, I'm totally anti-censorship, you know. I mean, it's like all the stuff about Life of Brian when it first came out, like being banned from some cinemas. You know, that's obviously terrible. And I'm not blind to that, but... the celebrity hand flapping, the level of sort of, you know, these rich morons frothing at the mouth about The Interview being cancelled, I do find that hilarious because, one, the film by all accounts looks like a piece of shit, unlike Life of Brian. Go on.
The one clip that everyone's gonna go and see, and it's the one fucking clip of Kim Jong-un in quotes, being assassinated. It's not that funny. I'll give you reasons why it's not that funny. Because I watched it because it's been leaked on the internet. One, the actor playing him looks nothing like him.
Yeah.
You go and look up what this actor, I guess this is an Asian American actor I've never heard of, but go and look up what he looks like as Kim Jong-un. Nothing like Kim Jong-un.
Okay, hang on.
And it's like...
Interview actor Kim Jong-un.
Forgot his name. Randall Park is his name. He's actually kind of good looking, but doesn't look anything like Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, so he's really attractive. He doesn't look like Kim Jong-un at all.
That's like reason A why it's not that funny, because it doesn't even look like him, so it's just some random Asian person getting killed in a helicopter.
Okay, so yeah, there's that. Like, the film looks like a piece of shit.
And B, I just didn't laugh at it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, whereas The Life of Brian was actually like an important... It was an important film, The Life for Brian, you know, and it was brave and satirical.
I'll tell you what that scene is. It is so you don't have to see the movie.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'll tell you what the scene is. It is the actor playing him, and this scene is all in slow motion, by the way.
Yeah.
Uh, in a helicopter, rocket being shot at helicopter. Guy gives like O face in slow motion. The whole time, there's this strange acoustic version of Katy Perry's Firework
Oh.
playing over it all. No,
Yeah.
no sound effects except just for that song. And it was just
Sounds fucking awful.
strange.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing.
It's
Some
just a
comedies,
strange scene. It's not funny, it's just strange.
some comedies they do confuse like some of them, like most sort of notoriously bad comedies that I've seen in my life, it tends to be because they confuse things just being odd for actually being funny, and I think that's probably part of the issue with The Interview, or just being like, you know, okay, this is outrageous, and we're saying these things that we shouldn't be able to get away with, that, you know, and therefore that's a substitute for being funny, and it's like, well, no, it's not. And yeah, the film by all accounts looks like a piece of shit. You know, obviously this guy looks nothing like Kim Jong-un. Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-il, sorry.
Un.
And also, it's this idea that it's setting some kind of precedent. Like, I'm sorry, but do you not think if Sony had more faith in the quality of the film, this might not have happened? Maybe they just realized that this wasn't worth the risk wasn't worth it over a movie that shitty. Like, has that not occurred to anyone?
Yeah.
You know, maybe if it was a decent movie that they really believed in, you know, it's very easy to say, okay, we're not releasing it because of XYZ, but I'm sorry, America has enough defense at its disposal to be able to handle this shit, you know?
Well, that, and it's just ridiculous that they even took it seriously in the first place.
Well, yeah, that's it as well.
How is I
don't
don't understand how North Korea would be able to exactly bomb like one multiplex. Like,
well,
I don't
yeah,
understand
exactly.
it.
What the fuck are they get? Or, you know, bomb every individual multiplex. Like, what are they actually gonna do? And also, it's this idea that, like, you know, this is what these, you know, kind of pretentious idiots have chosen to prioritize. Like, you know, with all the terrible things that are going on in the world. You know, and I'm not someone who thinks that, okay, because you're passionate about one issue, you therefore can't be passionate about anything less important. I don't think that. Mm-hmm. I just think that this particular issue is monumentally unimportant. Mm-hmm. You know? I think, you know, yeah, they would have released it if they'd had more faith in it. I don't think it sets a precedent. I don't think these people could have really done them any harm, and the movie's shitty, so I don't care that it didn't get released. I just think there are much more important things going on.
Do you know the reaction?
And I feel like
do you know the reaction when I heard about this entire situation at first? I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, well, obviously they're not going to do anything. And then I didn't think about it again.
Yeah.
I think that's how everyone else should have taken it, and then like, if no one had made a deal about it, if they hadn't made a whole big deal about it, just Kim Jong-un, the actual Kim Jong-un, hadn't made a big deal about it, if that's actually what happened, some people were like, oh, it was a PR stunt by Sony, or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. It's all ridiculous. I don't care. I'm beyond caring.
Yeah. Same. Absolutely agree with you. Yeah, but no, I think you're right. I think had Kim Jong-un, and, you know, any of those people just ignored it. And also, I don't want you to think that I'm a fan of Kim Jong-un, that I'm in any way condoning censorship, that I'm in any way, you know, it's not about that.
I'm in no way accusing you of being a fan of a North Korean dictator.
I just realized when I said
that
out loud.
I am in no way accusing you of being a communist.
Are you sure? Because that's how it sounds. But no, I mean, no, I think you're right. I think the film would have sunk without a trace. You know, it would have been much less of a big deal and had much less publicity had they just ignored it. You know, they've shot themselves in the foot in a way, because when the film eventually does get seen, which it will, it'll have a lot more press as a result of, you know, as a result of this happening in the first place.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, it would have just sunk
When I
about
make a movie, that's what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm gonna make a big deal out of it and say there's some controversy, and then everyone will, and then say like it's getting pulled from theaters, and then everyone will want to see it.
And that way you can make a shitty movie and it doesn't matter.
Yeah. That, and you're probably not gonna see it anyway because James Franco.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, that's another thing.
Well, even though I have told you that you need to see, you haven't seen This Is the End, right?
No, I haven't, and I have.
You should see that movie. Go watch that movie because that.
I mean, I was really, again, This Is the End was another thing that I was really, really put off by because I didn't particularly want to see a load of like smug, well-off actors slapping each other on the back. Like that, I didn't have any interest. But I've heard nothing but good things about This Is the End.
Yeah, it's not that at all. It's
no,
it's good. Watch it. Okay, now there's just as we were talking about the interview, there was an update about the interview.
Right. Okay.
That apparently today it will be available for rental through YouTube, Google Play, and Xbox Video today at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Oh.
So
right. Okay.
Totally like actually about right now you can rent it for $7 or $6 and you can buy it for $15.
Yeah,
but that's what people are reporting.
Hang on,
but
1 p.m. Eastern, that's like 10 minutes ago, isn't it?
Yeah.
Shit.
As of while we are recording this, yeah, apparently you can get it. Yeah, hold on, let me see. Yep, you can rent it through YouTube right this second.
You know what? No.
I'm on there right now, and you can rent it for $5.99.
I'm not renting that shit. I'm not
either.
Yeah. Good. I'm glad. Yeah, you and me can start. We're boy.
Well, then I don't have any money to rent it, but
yeah, quite. No.
You can. Yeah, you can. If you're interested in seeing it at all, you can now rent it through your PlayStation or your Xbox Video.
Okay.
Roku, your Apple TV, your Chromecast, YouTube, or Google Play.
I want people to know that me and Greer are boycotting the interview, not because...
I'm not boycotting it, I'm just not fucking interested whatsoever.
Oh, yeah, I was gonna say, not because we have any political alignment. We're not watching it because we don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have enough fucking time in the day.
Or money.
I don't feel like watching something that's probably not gonna make me laugh. I'm not gonna waste my time on it.
Yeah, quite. Life's too short. Life's too short for the interview. Life's too short for Life's Too Short. Talking of which, I want to talk about the Derek finale.
Okay.
That's sort of Christmassy.
Which I haven't seen. So.
Okay.
I only watched season 1 of Derek.
Okay, so there's a lot of quite sweet stuff. Like, it is still very, very sentimental, and Ricky Gervais's performance is still...
Oh yeah, I don't doubt that. I just haven't gotten around to watching it.
And it is still like a little bit hit and miss. But in general, it's very, very warm and very sweet and very funny and all that good stuff. So do you remember Kev? Do you remember the character Kev, who was the real, like, sort of like garish, kind of loudmouth, sleazy... So he had a few redeeming moments in season 2, but in general, like, the Christmas special is about how he's gotten much, much worse. Like, he's an alcoholic. Like, he starts a fire at the home and Hannah kicks him out. Hannah and Tom are now engaged. Hannah's pregnant. And Derek has a girlfriend, which is really sweet. They did that really well.
Is Carl still in the show?
No, Carl left.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to watch it then.
I know, it's sad, but it's surprisingly watchable, even without Carl. Yeah, Derek has a girlfriend, and that's quite sweet, and quite, like, because Derek's obviously got a learning disability, like, whatever Ricky Gervais says, like, that is just the situation.
Yeah.
And they do the relationship between two people with learning disabilities quite believably, and they don't make it too sentimental. So that's really good. And there's a very, very moving, like, Hannah's just a kick-ass character anyway, and there's a scene where Kev has alcohol poisoning and Hannah comes into him at the hospital and essentially just said, I just came in to tell you you're a selfish cunt and you don't deserve to have a friend like Derek. Like, she doesn't mollycoddle him. You know, she doesn't hold his hand. She just says, like, for Derek's sake, stop drinking. And it's very moving, and very believable. And a lot of people talked about how quite kind of sentimental and saccharine it was, particularly the Christmas special. And that is true, but I think there's much more to it than that. Like there were some genuinely gritty moments. There were some quite harsh resolutions, but it did end on a positive note. And I really liked it. I think it's if you're looking for an alternative Christmas viewing experience, then it's definitely worth watching.
Dude, 24 Hours of a Christmas Story starts tomorrow. Or technically tonight at midnight.
Yeah.
24 Hours of a Christmas Story.
Okay, A Christmas Story. I hadn't even heard of it until the Nostalgia Critic. Like, is it really famous in America and just something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's very famous in America.
It's never even been on TV over here, I don't think.
Because it's an American film. Like, have you ever seen it at all?
No.
It's a really American film.
Is it as American as Apple Pie?
It's very American 1950s, 60s.
But we're not.
Which is where the movie is set in.
But
it was made in the 80s.
Don't you think it's weird, Greer, that we're in England, we're inundated with American popular culture, and yet why has it never been on here? Because like we get it.
I don't know.
It's weird, right? Like
you have to see it and then maybe judge for yourself. I don't know.
Is it a piece of shit?
No, it's great.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's A Christmas Story 2 that's a piece of shit, but just A Christmas Story 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it was made in the 80s, but it's set in like the 50s or the 60s.
The one I'm really, really looking forward to, that I look forward to every year is The Snowman. Like for me, like there are maybe about like 10 things that I watch every Christmas. Like just representative of Christmas to me. And The Snowman, like I don't watch it on DVD or on YouTube. Like I have to watch it when it's on TV. I'm very kind of militant about that, and for me that just sums up Christmas. Like that is Christmas, that movie, and I can imagine a lot of people feel the same way about A Christmas Story. Yeah,
I mean, A Christmas Story is it's like American kid 1950s. I can't. It's like Midwestern, just I don't know. There's a lot of like mentions of stuff that's happens in Indiana, and it's just I don't know. It's just I can't explain why it's so American, but I'm sure other people can. I mean, even if you look, it's like it's been I think a couple years ago it was put into preservation, and the Library of Congress has a National Film Registry where they put like historically or like aesthetically significant films for like archives, and that film's in there.
I mean, I just think like I do get it. Like I just think it's probably the same reason why The Snowman isn't more popular in America, because I know people have seen it, but
I remember reading the book.
But The Snowman,
the book is more popular than I think the special.
Oh, see, the special is huge over here, and I think probably in the same way that A Christmas Story is very, very American, The Snowman is very English. It's inherently English. It's very solemn, very quiet, but with with a real magic and a real sense of wonderment to it. But in a very, very understated, very subtle way. Whereas in the best possible way, like I can imagine A Christmas Story is probably quite sentimental.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can completely believe that. The only thing I really know about it is that there's some kind of bad Santa figure in it. You see, that's sort of awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
You
should watch it though, just because, I mean, it's still very funny. It's still really charming. It's still really great. I'm probably going to end up at least watching it twice tomorrow. Like, at least twice.
I saw A Muppet Christmas Carol at the cinema last week with my friends, which is the second year we've done that. And that's about as Christmassy as it gets.
That's my favorite version of that
Oh,
story.
completely. I mean, what was really interesting was that I had a couple of friends there that hadn't seen it before, and what they said was that what they loved was that Michael Caine's performance was so good. He wasn't hamming it up. He wasn't, playing to the fact that it was a children's film. He was Scrooge. That was a completely authentic performance. I don't think he's done it.
Do your best Michael Caine in The Dark Knight.
Okay, no, I can't do.
Can you do a Michael Caine?
I can't do a Michael Caine. What I can do, which is much more obscure, and you'll only appreciate if you've seen Muppet Christmas Carol a million times.
I've seen it, just not a very long time.
Okay,
I still love it. I still remember it pretty well, actually.
Scrooge has a really obnoxious nephew called Freddie, who is just too nice to even be real. And basically, as a British person, I'm inclined to hate him because he's so positive. I relate much more to Scrooge. So he comes in and he's like, "Hello, Uncle," and you just want to punch his face. And then he does that really. So he's really, really nice.
Is that character played by a human or is it played by a Muppet?
No, it's played by a human. But
okay.
He does what? Yeah. So he's nuts. All the way through the film up until a point, and then there's a scene which is from the original Christmas Carol story, where they're playing a game called Yes and No, and they say all these really nasty, they ask all these really nasty questions, and then it ends up that the answer is Ebenezer Scrooge. So yeah, essentially Freddie is just a two-faced asshole. He's nice to Scrooge's face and then a cunt behind his back. And I can do an impression of him. Unless you've seen the film millions of times, that's probably completely meaningless to you. He's like a hate figure to me and my friends. He's everything we hate about the holiday season.
Yeah.
Can you do an impression of Michael Caine in The Dark Knight?
No. I'm gonna end up embarrassing myself. I know people who can, though, and it's really funny.
Now that you've said that, I really want to hear it.
I can't, because I have to think of the line.
But why did you ask me? You must have one brewing away, or you wouldn't have asked me.
I don't know. What's that line that he says in the movie? Hold on. I'm trying to think of the line he says in the film, where he's talking about Bruce Wayne running through the halls or something like that.
Okay.
I forget. God, I don't remember that. I don't remember that quote.
I don't really have anything else to talk about, do you?
No, I don't.
I'm afraid. I think okay, so let's keep.
Oh, they're saying that because of the Sony email leaks, there's this rumor going around that Idris Elba is in talks to be in the next James Bond, which I think would be super fucking awesome because
I think that would
Idris Elba's super hot.
I didn't know that was part of the whole leaked email thing, but I had heard that. Rush Limbaugh is apparently saying that he can't be James Bond because he's black. Rush Limbaugh, you can take a running jump at the fucking center of the sun.
I think Rush Limbaugh tries to he tries to act like he knows everything about James Bond, and he's like, James Bond's white and Scottish, just like the Ian Fleming wrote him as. And as far as I know, James Bond was not Scottish until Sean Connery played him in the movie.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know. What I do know is, and I hope Rush Limbaugh hears me, although the odds of him even knowing I exist ever is next to none. I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck if, James Bond is meant to be fucking Aryan. I couldn't give a shit, By all means, Idris Elba should play him. He would be brilliant,
Idris Elba should play James Bond because he's very suave and hot.
Yeah, right? I know.
That's what I see when I look at Idris Elba.
Yeah, exactly. He's right for the part. I couldn't give a shit about anything else. Fucking go for it, Christ. My little tidbit is a load of new photos from Glee season 6 have been released. I have renewed interest.
Oh yeah, that's still happening.
Yeah, really.
Oh yeah, Glee is still a show.
Yeah, Glee exists. Glee is relevant. I have recognized the fact that the last few seasons have been a piece of shit in general, like by and large. I have renewed interest because they seem to be taking the stories much more seriously. They're taking it right back to the high school.
How much money do you want to put on the... I'm going to predict right now that Lea Michele is going to sing Let It Go.
She is singing Let It Go. She's singing Let It Go in the first episode.
Give me $20 right now, because I was about to say, I'll bet you $20 that that's what's going to happen. Are you fucking with me? Is that happening?
Yeah, you must have known that, Greer.
No, I didn't.
That was really just a guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, there's a clip of her singing it in the first episode.
What?
I'm deadly serious. You can look it up.
Yay!
And I
should write that show.
You should write that show. I mean, fucking hell, like, you could write a better version of Glee in your sleep, Greer. Like, anyone could.
Fucking when Let It Go probably came out, Ryan Murphy's like, well, obviously Leah's gonna sing that one.
Yeah, like, rubbing his hands, like, yeah, I can make a few more bucks out of this, like... But, they've released, like, a bunch of photos from season 6. My big, like, aha moment is, that Karofsky, the, like, closet case football bully guy who tried to kill himself, he's back and apparently dating Blaine.
Huh.
Yeah, right? There was a 6-month gap, in terms of, like, the actual storylines between seasons 5 and 6. So Rachel's show, her TV show has failed. She's ended up back in Lima, coaching the Glee Club. Blaine dropped out of, NYADA due to being distraught about breaking up with Kurt. Sam's quit being a model and moved back to Lima for as yet undisclosed reasons. Santana and Brittany are still together. Puck and Quinn are still together. And as far as I know, Will is coaching Will's coaching Vocal Adrenaline. And Blaine is coaching Dalton Academy Warblers.
I can't believe I remember.
I think I got that right.
All these characters, I still can't believe I remember all of them.
Yeah, I know. Like, but I've been keeping up with Glee. Like, I mean, I recognize that it's a piece of crap, but I have actually been keeping up with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm tentatively quite positive about the direction.
This is the last season, right?
Yeah, it's the last season.
Yeah. So I was about to say, all these actors are not looking like high schoolers anymore, so they can't do another season.
No, they can't. I mean, but they, like, half of them were in college, Greer, like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the kids that are still, like, the new characters that they introduced that are, like, in high school, or supposed to be in high school.
But Greer...
Like, even those actors are, like... not looking like high schoolers anymore.
Did they ever look like high schoolers? Like,
not really.
No, exactly. They all looked about fucking 25.
Yeah. I think Corey Monteith was like 30 when he got cast as Glee. Like late 20s, early 30s.
When he got cast as Glee.
When he got cast in Glee, sorry.
As the big, like, sentient being that is Glee. Yeah. The big, like, homogenous blob.
Yeah. I watched last season because Adam Lambert was on there. That's why I watched, and now he's not on there anymore. So I'm like, I'm not. Oh my god,
he was barely in it, Greer. Like,
I don't care. I still liked it, and he sang a few songs.
Yeah, I know. I just mean that they underused him. It was just one of those really half-assed.
Yeah, it was kind of like giving someone like just a chunk of diamond, and then they use it to wipe their butt or something.
Yeah.
You know?
It'd be very uncomfortable.
By the way, I'm disappointed that you're moving away from London because I really want you to go to London on New Year's so you could see Adam and Queen perform at Big Ben. Because they're doing New Year's at the Big Ben thing.
Don't worry, I'm going to be in London for New Year's.
Oh, okay. You should go and take lots of pictures.
Hang on. Presumably this is something that costs money, Greer.
I don't know. It said it's at.
Well, I would assume it's something that costs money, Greer. It's Adam Lambert and Queen, you know. I don't think they're going to be doing that at the Village Hall, do you?
I don't know what that is.
The Village Hall. That's
it's gonna be at Big Ben. I don't know where at that huge clock. Like, I don't know where at, but it's there.
That sentence makes no sense. Okay, well, let's look it up. If I can go, I will go. Adam Lambert, Queen.
They're doing something on New Year's in London, and they're also coming through there, I think, when they're touring this month, this coming month.
Okay, well, I'm almost certainly not going to have time or be able to afford
it. Dang it!
I know if you were in the UK, you would have made a concerted effort and actually saved money and prostituted yourself and, you know, whatever it fucking took. But yeah, it just wasn't as exciting and awesome as I'm sure it is. I just haven't had the time or the energy.
You know what I'm resisting just throwing in everyone's faces that's like a naysayer about him being a queen. And then they released this interview that Brian May did saying that he can sing higher than Freddie Mercury, and I'm like, fuck you! Fuck everyone! Fuck all the naysayers!
Okay, you know what, like...
I just had a huge, like, fuck you moment to all the naysayers. It was awesome.
I'm not gonna compare, like, the two of them. Because
no, you can't. Like, they're two completely different people.
Yeah, exactly. Like, my stance is, because, like, Queen are one of my favourite bands of all time. Like, and I'm really passionate about them. I love their music. My stance is that, you know, there is something kind of profoundly unique about Freddie Mercury that will never be kind of, you know, repeated. But, like, there's something profoundly unique about Adam Lambert that will never be repeated. And it's like, you know, it's not like they just got some, fucking X Factor winner. Like, I mean, he is more than that. Like, he is a supremely unique, talented individual. Like, and I kind of think, you know, as a kind of LGBT artist, as a prominent LGBT artist, like, I kind of think he's the perfect person to take on that legacy. Like, I have no qualms with it whatsoever.
You should still go and see the show, though. Just for me. Just sneak in.
Well, what happened to us going to MagFest, Greer?
Money.
Too money. Yeah, too much money, sadly, for both of us. No MagFest for you. Yeah. No MagFest for me. I am going to have to wrap up because it's 6:30 over here. It's Christmas Eve and I have to go and do family things.
Yeah, we're recording on Christmas Eve afternoon.
Happy Christmas, guys!
I'll come out tomorrow, probably. I'll try to edit it down tonight.
Okay. Oh, well, that'd be lovely. Yeah, release a show on Christmas Day. You've all got that to look forward to.
Oh, and yeah, should we talk about Heather is going to try to get the resources together, and I'm assuming this is... I'm gonna give her this project. Because I run this part, and then Heather can have this project for herself. But it's actually something I've wanted to do for a while, and that's I just bring
Englishness to the table.
Yeah. That's... And I know that it's an overused thing to do, but I don't care because it's always something I've wanted to do because I feel like it would be fun, and that is to do some Let's Plays with all of us. And we're probably going to start out with some... This probably won't be till, like, January or whatever, but I'd like to start, like, maybe some Cards Against Humanity sessions and Jackbox Party Pack and some stuff that we can all play together. And we'll see where it goes from there, and then if we have fun with it, then we can keep going with it.
I totally agree, and yeah, like, let us know in the comments and stuff, like, what you think. For me, now that I've quit my job, I can focus much more on...
Yeah, Fran quit her job.
Yay! You need some kind of applause sound effect over that, because that was pretty much the reaction of every single person I ever met. I quit my job, so I'm going to be able to do the podcast a lot more in 2015, and I'm excited about these various new ventures we're taking on. And the Let's Playing, I just think my inability to do any of it properly will be a source of great amusement.
Yeah. I mean, anything hardcore is gonna be me and Heather. Anything like Cards Against Humanity is gonna be like all of us probably.
Yeah. Okay.
We're thinking about bringing on more people into the rotation in 2015 as well.
Greer, I would like to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a very Merry unbirthday.
Thanks.
And yeah, have a lovely day tomorrow and have a lovely day today, whatever you get up to.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to you. No, I'll talk to you before 2015, but I will talk to you after Christmas.
Yeah.
And happy Christmas to all of you, and to all good night. God bless us, everyone.
Gotta do your
Clarence, I want to live again.
Do your best, Tiny Tim, to end us.
Okay, I'll do Tiny Tim as Robin in Muppet Christmas Carol, the most misjudged, obnoxious character in the film. And as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
Everyone.
That's what I said.
Except for Rush Limbaugh.
Except for James Franco. Merry Christmas to all except James Franco, and to all a good night except James Franco.